Good evening, everybody. Yes, the stream is starting earlier tonight, Stephen, because we got 5 games to go to the end of the season, and I'm going to try and get through all of them. Good evening, Andy. As the first one in, thanks for coming so early, guys. I do appreciate that it's going to be a long old stream tonight, and hopefully we'll come out of it with a trophy at the end of it. You never know, and that will be our 21st trophy of the save. Can you guys just let me know if you can hear me and you can see everything okay, and then we can press on. Just a little bit of news about the fantasy. I had my normal start to the Fantasy Football League and scored my usual 60 points. And it was not very good. Had a dreadful time. Good, well done to Living Saliba Loca, who's Corey's team. He's managed to get himself to the top of the leaderboard at the moment. He's on 69 points. Early days yet. I'm not touching my team from here on in. Game week 4 will be a wild card. This team will see me through till game week 4, even though I've only got 12 left. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let's get on with this pursuit of glory here at Newcastle. We are currently in 7th place with 4 games left to play. The next game is West Ham. We are 9 points clear of West Ham. Beat West Ham today and we will finish in 7th. If we lose against West Ham today, we'll be 6 points clear, but they will have a much better run-in than we have, because our run-in includes Manchester City and Tottenham. So I'd like to beat them today. And so with that in mind, we are continuing with what we were doing. We are going to play with just a higher line today, because I remember West Ham were playing through those diagonal balls through our defence, and I want to try and stop that happening today. So we're going to go back into a higher line, and we're going to play exactly as we were playing. It wasn't really working particularly fabulously, but we did get 3 wins, and so I'm not going to argue with that. We'll just check the settings here, because it does have a habit of altering itself. But no, everything is cool. And so here we go. My assistant wants me to go with a weakened team. And that's the problem. We could well have a total collapse, Stephen. It could well be a total collapse. A point will be enough today. Good evening, Blob. How are you doing, my friend? And he wants me to play a lot of non-first team players like Abras, who's not played much at all, Suone. I feel I need to play my first team here. And more direct passing, not yet. If we have to go into a low block, we might do that. But I will bear the assistant's... I'm going to go back to positive, and I will bear the assistant's advice in mind when it comes. Didn't know there was punishment for swapping out players. You were bolstered up, did you? Oh boy, I haven't done very well myself, Blob, so don't worry about it. It's early days yet, only game week 1. Hartman is coming back into the side after his injury, but I dare say we will need to sub him off very shortly. I'm just hoping that we get the 3 points here. We can relax then against City and Tottenham. I'm going to play the low block against City and Tottenham. Let's go out there and secure 7th spot. We can't do any better than 7th. So let's secure it. And then we can look forward to the cup final. Good evening further. And see if we can't win another cup. Another trophy, which will be the 21st trophy of the save. Livramento scored. Did he? For Verona. And we've made a decent start, but like FM always seems to do this to me. Unless it's a Liverpool or City, we always have the highlights early on and seem to dominate a game. It's no indicator yet of what's going to happen. Although if this was City against me, I'd be thinking, right, things are not working. What do I need to do now? Oh, come on, referee. It's a shocking foul. They are getting stuck in by the look of it. They are taking no prisoners. I might have to think about how we play around that. Do we dribble more to go past them? We are a good dribbling side, although it never seems to show on the screen. Do we dribble more? Do we pass it around them? If they are getting stuck in, how are we going to actually play with that? We have got a strong side out, especially up front. And it will make up pretty much the team that we have next season, with a few additions. Hopefully very good additions. There's a lot of dead wood in this team that needs to go now. Nice cross by Abba, but that's little Kumalo, I think, is it? Or is it Kanote? He's not going to get on the end of that. So it's been all Newcastle in the opening 5 or 10 minutes. We just need to make sure that we keep pressing them, keep hold of the ball, and hope that a chance comes along. Jesus, Abba is all over the place, up especially in the final third. That's a nice pass to Neves. Jesus, Abba is everywhere at the moment. Playing on the right side of the two. He's probably a better left footer, but he plays well on the right side as well. So he's got off to a good start, I think, even though his rating is not as good as Guehi. He certainly seemed to be the man involved. Unless the game knows something I don't. Is he about to make an error here? And West Ham, here come West Ham. And I do know how they're going to play. They're going to use their width. And they're going to try and thread these balls through. And we have had all the play. Are they about to go 1-0 up? Yeah, that's how West Ham are going to play. They're going to look to get crosses in. Well done, Kamala. Well done. So what we got to do is be very careful. Be very watchful of them trying to get the ball round the back of us. Come on, Florian Wirtz. It's about time you did something really special. Seen you score a goal, have a good game, but never seen you do something really special. Like 2 goals and assist, or 3 goals and assist, and you're capable of doing it. So let's get it done. And another effort goes harmlessly sailing over the bar. We do not score many goals from headers. We are very small, both up top and at the back. And that's something we probably need to look at in the transfer window. We need someone taller at the back and probably someone taller up front, as well as in midfield. We are quite a small team and really poor in the air, but we are allegedly an extremely good dribbling team, but I am yet to see it on the graphics that's played out. And he always worries me in FM. That's why I like playing for playing as manager of West Ham, because Ward Prowse is an extremely good set-piece taker in FM. And it's... oh, come on, boys, come on. And it is very nice to have him in your team. just for the set pieces alone. Come on, boys. Come on, let's do something. That's nice. Now we're in. Oh, Patterson. Oh, boy, I should have played Frimpong, shouldn't I? I knew I should have played Frimpong. But I made a change right at the last moment. Just before you joined me, I made that change. And Patterson has let me down. Their shooting is poor. Ours is even worse. And this is not good enough. We need to shout at them, demand more. Something is not right with this Newcastle squad. We cannot put the ball in the back of the net. And this happens so regularly. We are, of course, coming up to 6 games. If we do win this game, that will be the 6th game that we have won on the trot. And we know what happens next. After 6, we lose 2. The pattern is already there. And he's offside, I think. He's going to be given offside, so don't get too excited. I think that was definitely offside. But if we do win this, the pattern is there for all to see. 6-2, 6-2 has been set up by the game. And this will be win number 6. He was a long way offside. Oh, he was only about a foot. But enough. And that came after I demanded more from them. So maybe I need to demand more at half-time in the dressing room. But at the moment, they look like they are just slipping by us again. It's only going to take 1. They don't need many chances. There's that ball. They are trying to get it behind us, but they didn't succeed. So I know how they're going to play. Maybe we should go a little bit more attacking, should we? We have got an attacking team. Maybe we should go attacking in the second half. Push the line up and go for the victory. There's a little bit of distance between our lines. Not much. And we should be doing better than this. But I'll take a draw. I don't mind a draw. That will ensure us 7th place as well. So a draw will be fine. But we do need to do better. We have to learn from this. And why are we not beating West Ham? Oh, come on, Wirtz. He really is useless. As for we spent 100 million on him. Hi, Cade. And he really is useless. He just can't score. He's not. His passing has been terrible all season as well. £100 million. I suppose that actually reflects real life. Some of the players I've been watching over the weekend. 100 million, 70 million. I wouldn't pay 70p for them. The way they've been performing this weekend. There's that pass. And if we don't do something about our lines, one of these days they're going to get in behind us. So I'm going to play for a draw. We're going to put him on support. Play for a draw now. It's too risky. They have a much better run in than we do. And I'm going to come back into a low block. And I am going to go standard to begin with. We'll play fairly narrow. Focus play up through the middle. And we will just play in a low block because the game is taking over. And I've got to stop West Ham scoring. We don't look like we can score a goal, so all I can do is stop West Ham scoring and hope that the match engine rectifies itself sometime in the next few weeks. I'm going to tell them I'm far from pleased. Far from pleased. It's like Guehi is not playing well. Kanote is the one who's really bad. You've not been good enough. Florian Wirtz. Hi, Silver Ali. Florian Wirtz seems to have been the one who's missed the most chances, but he's somehow got away with it, and he's on a 6.8. I've only seen Kanote miss one, and he's on a 6.5. So I'm quite sure how that works. Florian Wirtz has been absolute trash, and somehow he's got a much better rating than Kanote. And I don't know how that's worked out. I really don't know how they work that out, but all of them are pretty poor again. Maybe I should just listen to my assistant. Maybe these boys are just bad now. They're going to play too much football and they just can't play anymore. And maybe my assistant's right. Just put people who've never played football in there. Find some people in the car park and they'll play better. Because at the moment we are terrible. And I just really don't understand why it should be. Neves, I think that's the first time I've seen you. Hello, where have you been? Oh boy. What an absolute shambles. But if West Ham can't beat us when we are this bad, then it shows how bad they are. It's not to say they won't beat us, because they do look like they are. I'm going to take that off because they are getting stuck in. And if we're dribbling with the ball, then it's an invite for them to come and dive at us. So let's come off that. Oh, and we still can't score. The low block seems to be working better, getting us into positions, but we still can't score. We don't look like scoring a goal. We have been switched off again. We've been switched off. And good news, though, is West Ham have been switched off at the same time. Their shots on target ratio is slightly worse than ours, is it? No, they're about the same. It's about the same. And the XG is about the same. So I'd like actually something to happen in this game, if you don't mind. FM, could something happen? That one or two of my players turn up? Maybe. Neves has touched the ball twice now, though, which is good news. 3 times. We still can't get a shot on target. Oh, come on. Let's make some changes. We'll wait until Wirtz misses this free kick. There you go. Now we'll make some changes. Ah, boy. What is Wirtz on? He's on a 6.8. How has he managed to keep himself? It's Guehi who is playing badly. So Biomo can come on. Also, Hartman's having a shocker. Who's that? That's 6.9, 6.8. This is just absolute rubbish. It's just rubbish. So let's bring Muane up front. Evening, Callum. Hey, yes. Thoughts on yesterday's games? I don't really have any thoughts yet. It's the first game of the season for all of them. So I don't really have any thoughts yet. I don't think there was any standout performance at all. They all looked like they were just getting used to the season to me. I've watched 5 games and they weren't. Arsenal looked like the best team from the weekend. Oh, come on, FM. This is the silliest game in the world sometimes. And you cannot score. You cannot score. Oh boy. Even though we've absolutely, since we went into the low block, we've absolutely tanked it. We are not allowed to score. Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to go through all that silly charade of playing with the lines, and the players are not good enough to score. They're not good enough to score. We're creating good chances. It's just the way the game has to behave. But at the moment, this will, a 0-0, will guarantee that we finish in 7th. They won't be able to catch us. Well, they would, but we'd have to lose Tottenham and Manchester City by big margins, like 4-0, 5-0. And even that would mean that we'd have to lose against Fulham quite big as well. I can't see them. If we get a point, I think it's done. If we lose it, then I don't think we're going to finish in 7th, because they will catch us. They have 2 bottom of the league teams to play, and whilst I might not be able to win against bottom of the league teams, other teams don't seem to have that problem. So West Ham won't lose to bottom of the league teams like we do. My assistant manager doesn't seem to have that problem either, which is quite interesting. Seems to be me personally in offside again. But at the moment, we just look like we are doing what we're doing, seeing this game out. Oh, Neves, you good lad. It's funny. He must be the one who was listening to me at half-time, because he did have his first touch early in the second half. And he's the one that's paid attention. And finally, it took going into the low block and becoming more defensive before we could actually score a goal. And do you guys often find that strange about FM, that to open up a defence, you've got to become more defensive? Which is kind of weird thing about FM. Most teams try to become more attacking. When real life, when you're struggling to score a goal, you become more attacking. But not in FM. Become more defensive and you're more likely to score. Florian Wirtz somehow has got a 7.6. Please don't ask me how. Kamalo isn't playing very well, so we'll put Suwone on now. And Dom Baker for Florian Wirtz. But we have scored a goal. Holy cow, we've scored a goal. But West Ham look even worse than we are, especially as we are playing in a low block, not looking to try to do anything, just giving them the advantage. But they just simply haven't taken it. Dom Baker, there he is. Well, unless Real Madrid come in for me, yes, then I'll probably stay. I can't see Man City coming in for me, and I can't see any of the huge European teams, Bayern or Barcelona or Real Madrid. So I think we will be at Newcastle. And, yeah, there will be transfers. And what I will do, as I normally do, is I will leave the file. Leave a link to the file, and you guys can do the transfers, and we'll have a look at the transfers and go with which one we think is the best one. So you will do the transfer window as per normal, I'll have a shot at it as well, and then we will just simply choose the best one and see which one we think is going to get us the most success. I think we're going to need Europe before they become that generous, though. I don't know if 7th is enough to get us into Europe. It might be enough to get us into the Conference League. I don't know. Is 6th reserved for the Conference League? Is it 7th for the I really don't know. I need to know. I need to find out what these rules are one day. I have no idea. Langstaff is coming in. I can just imagine your transfer window, Andy. Go on, make it 2. No, we still can't get a shot on target. What happened to the days of Lazio? He thrashed them 9-0 when everything went in. What happened to those Lazio days? 9-0. I still remember that one. I still don't believe it. Everything that we touched turned to gold. And then we went into that poor run, didn't we? Oh no, we got that to come out of one. And there it is. Patterson, who's on his last legs, actually, has made it 2-0. And that surely now means that we are safe in 7th. But it's strange how it takes going defensive. I'm not sure that works in real life. That if you change your mentality, lower your mentality, go into a low block, you're going to be more attacking. I don't know if that works in real life. But certainly an FM thing. And go more direct with your passing. And sometimes your assistant, because he said go more direct passing, and sometimes he makes these calls, remember them, and that's what we did. We went more direct with our passing. We only upped it to standard, but enough to open them up. But it shouldn't, because we're playing very deep. And maybe it's the counter-attack that they're getting caught with. But we are very, very deep. I'm not quite sure how it works. Keeping possession doesn't mean that you are actually attacking. So I understand that bit. But you are being very patient. And you do have to be very patient about chance creation. Whereas if you sit back, then you draw the opposition out, and then long punts over the top. If you've got pace, will catch them out. Maybe that's how it works this year. I don't see Manchester City doing it though. When Manchester City need a goal, they up the tempo and go wider, and they play wider. They still are patient, but they up the tempo. They don't say to the other teams, okay, we're going to sit back on our penalty spot. You come out, and then we're going to play direct long balls over the top. I've never seen City do that. Although I have seen them go back into a low block, but purely on a defensive, for defensive purposes. Did that hit the bar, or was it saved? Yeah, and that's one of my wishes one day, is that it will reflect football. Because at the moment, it doesn't. The scores don't. The score generator needs changing. There's too many patterns in the game. Oh, we've got another wing-back injury. How marvellous. Does the game know that I am thinking of switching back to having the two wing-backs? Does the game actually know that that's what I'm thinking about? Interesting. But it's certainly injuring a lot of wing-backs this year. We are back to that. It probably does. And there is a strong case for the game actually listening to you. The game actually listens to you. If you talk to it, it will listen. And did I say I was going back to the other system? I did, didn't I? Earlier on, I said I was probably, for Manchester City and Spurs, going back to the other system. It listens to you, and now it's injured the wing-backs again. It's really weird. It does listen to you. So, FM, I was only kidding. I'm not going back to the other system. And now it will injure one of my forwards, because it knows then I need a lot of forwards, not defenders in this system. So if I say, tricked you, it'll probably injure a forward now. I think it does listen to you. And I started this Ipswich save. It's injured every one of my best players in defence, in midfield and attack. Like pre-season. And not just small injuries, big injuries. So what can you do? All three key players in the three key areas. That was a good win. And that means that we are going to finish in 7th. So we have 59 points. Aston Villa have 48. That means we are 11 clear with 3 games to go. We're going to finish in 7th, whatever happens. So Newcastle qualify for the Conference League. So we've qualified for the Conference League. And of course, one of my wing-backs was going to be injured. Of course, why didn't I suspect that? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 wins and a draw. And previously we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and lose 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and lose 2. Where 5, that might turn out to be a very good result that we had there. Because it's interrupted the 6. But I still think we're going to lose these 2. But that might turn out to be a very useful result. So now we're going to go back. And we're going to play with a low block. And we don't need to step up more at this point. But we're going to just try this low block against Man City. We'll keep it at standard with higher tempo. That means we'll just lob the ball up the pitch when we can. Play for set pieces, dribble less, be more disciplined. Yep, that's fine. And now we have to find a left back. Patterson can come over on the left. Hartman actually needs game time. So Patterson can be Doigs and Frimpong can come back into the team. So Patterson can play on the left. So we'll have Abba. What's Tonali doing here? We'll put Guehi in there and Botman. Where is Botman? And I think I need to rest these players, don't I? I need to rest these boys. Don't think I've missed anybody, have I? Only 8. Where he probably can have a rest as well. Let's give them all a rest. Defense didn't really have to work very hard. They didn't use any of their stamina. Best players in pre-season. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I want fixed. I'll never get them fixed. But there's a lot of things that I'd like fixed. Where did that go? I thought I saw the results then, but I obviously didn't. Ah, there they are. So Europa Conference League, 6th is the Conference League, 5th is the Conference League. Oh no, it's because they haven't separated themselves yet. There's no way we're going to catch Brentford. 5 points in 3 games. Brentford are playing out of their skins. So I don't think we're going to catch Brentford with Manchester City and Tottenham to play. Get into our penalty area. So we do need a high line. We'll play this low block with a high line. Yes, I don't know how many times that's happened to me. My best player totally ruined within days of buying him. Don't know how many times that's happened. 5 to 11 days. It's okay, we've got cover. But interesting, another wing back. Pleased. We're keeping the players happy as well. Is that the semi-final of the Champions League? I do have a bit of a frog in my throat. I do apologise for that. I don't know what's wrong at the moment. Sometimes it happens. I think it's talking. Too much talking causes it, which is really strange. But yeah, especially, and tonight will not help because tonight is going to be a long one. But too much talking does not help you. So I do apologise. I have a frog in my throat. And Bayern 1-1 with Liverpool. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. How much is his salary? 205,000. We could do with that. In fact, that salary alone, how much could we turn 205,000 into? Oh, we'll have to use it to... In fact, actually, it might be a good idea for me to make this adjustment now. We need 8 million to... Let's just make that adjustment now. 200,000. We could turn that into a bit of transfer budget. See a post on Reddit of a player injured for personal reasons. That's happened? I thought we might have had another official update on FM25. Nothing's come out. I don't think they're going to do anything, Andy, until they give us the update on the graphics. I don't think I've ever had a player injured for personal reasons, Diego. No, that would be an all-time first for me if that happened. Jesus Abba, see, he is such a good player. It was awesome bringing him in. But unfortunately, Kamalo... Ooh, I've got Manager of the Month, have I? Unfortunately, Kamalo is not making the same development and strides as... Oh, see? Another wing-back. Another wing-back. This is crazy. It listens to you. It's because I said I was going back to the three at the back. So now I don't think... This is crazy, isn't it? Carapito. No, I'm going to give Carapito the day off. And I'm going to give Abba the day off as well. Moreno. So I do have Patterson and Hartman. And Moreno and Frimpong. If you want to injure any more, though, just letting you know which I've got left now. Daft game. And I'm going to go back to playing them as I played them before. So he will be a centre mid on attack. I listened to somebody who got it all wrong. And Mazzala on support. So Tonali probably has to play. He is probably my best man in there. Hartman is where we are weak down the left. And Frimpong's okay. Neves, Tonali, Wirtz and Kanate. We will have to rest Kamalo. So Muani, Moreno, Patterson, Abba. Abba is going to rest, so we'll put Stan on the bench. Carapito, Larson, Dom Baker, Sawani and Muani. The rest, we're having to drop Kumalo, which is a bit of a shame. He hasn't hit the ground as well as I wanted him to. Jesus Abba has done very well, but unfortunately Kumalo has not. And it might be a good idea to play Muani. Put Muani in there. Tonali and Neves, he wants to change those around. I'm not quite sure that's a good idea. If we change Neves around... might be. He's a better attacker, isn't he? So maybe that's a good idea. And these two, I want to give Abba a rest. Oh, Guardiola. Credits Oldman with brilliant work. I can't see it. We've been really poor. This team has been very, very poor. If we go and look at season preview, we're predicted to finish 4th. And we are nowhere near 4th. So this team has been poor. It's not often that it works out, the prediction, the media prediction, you are below that. It's not often that happens. And that just says how poor a team they are. It really does outline how bad they are and how much improvement has to take place. And we do need Kamalo to start playing a little bit better, if you don't mind. But a couple of days off might help him. Oh, you're out the door anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anybody who complains like that has to leave. So Hartman, we've promised him that he's going to leave anyway. So where is Hartman? He is here. Is there anybody interested in him? Atletico Madrid, 53 million. Get rid of him. If he's going to complain all his life, get rid of him. And I don't know why I clicked that, because I can never find the recommendations. Used to be really easy. They'd send you an email. Oh, do I have to go through all of these? I suppose I could just let it run, but it'd still be no decision made. Okay, Manchester City away. One change to the team? No. We're going to go with the team. I want to rest Jesus Abba. So we'll go with that team. They're pretty tired. Does that mean anything? We have a good understanding developing in the middle of the park, which is quite interesting. How are Manchester City going to play? They do have a good midfield. Let's just leave it as it is. And we'll go to the match. Hopefully 4-0 to Manchester City. I probably agree with you, Andy. Probably agree with you. But that, looking at that, we should have finished him fourth, predicted to finish him fourth. We haven't played very well at all. It's an indication of how poor this team actually is, despite how it looks on paper. Those star ratings are totally misleading. And I do need to go and make a few adjustments here. Rodri obviously needs tight marking. He's playing in FM. I haven't made my mind up on those two. Phil Foden needs tight marking, and Haaland. And Rico Lewis has a weak left foot and right foot. Let's bring them inside. And that's that job done. Now, come on, let's get one over on City. I can't see it. We beat them early on, and I really don't see the game allowing that to happen again, no matter even if I do change my style. And I just don't see the game allowing that to happen again. But we are playing very differently to how we played before. And sometimes that's the way to get the win. And I have noticed my assistant a few times saying play direct. So why not send the ball long? City will be coming out at us like this. We'll get bodies behind the ball and then try and hit them on the counter-attack. They are forcing us back a little bit, but not too far. But now they are, as they start to dominate the game. But that's okay. We're inviting them to do that. And what we need to do is force them wide and then make sure that we don't let them connect with the crosses. Keep this compact. Good tackle from Bong. That's it. Tight mark Foden. Which one of the two midfielders is causing me the problems? Yeah, I definitely take a point against City. Definite. Take a 1-0 defeat, to be honest. We beaten them early on by a goal to 0. But I think the computer game just gave me that one. There was no reason for it. Come on, that's a lovely pass. Go on, Frimpong. Oh, we still can't score goals. We're not going to get many opportunities, boys. We are not going to get many opportunities. You've got to take your chances. And maybe we're going to stay on our feet as well. I'm going to press, but stay on our feet. Because they are. Although I don't think they are as good at dribbling as we are. Because I think we are top in the league in terms of dribbling skills. On the pitch, I'm not seeing it. But they are extremely good at dribbling. So it's very important that we stay on our feet. There's something wrong with this dribbling thing in the... Yeah, it was. It was the first win of the save. We lost to West Ham, didn't we, Callum? Lost 2-0 to West Ham and then beat City 1-0 at home. We've got to do better than this on the counter-attack. We're supposed to be playing high-tempo stuff. Lump it up the pitch. We have pace up there, so just lump it over the back of their defence and see what happens. This tactic is called lump it forward. I don't want you messing about in our own half. Lump it forward. That's terrible. That's their press. He was feeling under pressure there. Well, that's true. Gosh, your memory is better than mine, Callum. True. Yeah, we had a draw, and then we beat City, didn't we? In that famous episode where I was so optimistic. Even having lost to West Ham. Then the draw against Arsenal and the win against City. That was making me think we could do big things here. Until Southampton came along. But that's okay. That's exactly what we want them to do. That's how the low block works. Force them into the middle. And I think I might actually try that. Force them into the middle. And then step up more. That's how it should work. We're doing all right. Now lump it up the pitch. He still can't do it. Who is that in midfield? He's totally... Somebody is... Is it him? Yeah, somebody is extremely apprehensive. Just does not look composed at all. Go on, take the ball off him. Nicely done. Yeah, there, again. Yeah, it's a wing back, isn't it? It's Hartman. He's looking apprehensive, and he's just given the ball away there. And we've gone a goal behind. So he's got to come off. Oh, it's been disallowed. Oh, what kind of shout can I give him? Encourage him if he's feeling apprehensive. He's just he's gone up a notch. He just doesn't look. It's twice he's done that. He just doesn't look like he wants the ball. And he's given the ball away, but that seemed to work. He's happy now. He's got a happy face on. Oh, somebody else has given it away now. Okay. I don't think it helped. We're going to get stuck in instead. I don't think staying on the feet helped. Got to stop this giving the ball away. Why is he running backwards? Oh, boys. Managing Newcastle is hard. What's he given? Offside again from a free kick. That's twice we've done that as well. So I really do need to get rid of my set-piece coach. I don't think we've scored more than 2 from set-pieces, have we? He's got to go. We'll have a look for a set-piece coach after this. I think it should work. I think that if you're going to press them, you need to be aggressive, I guess. That's what I was thinking. At first I was thinking, don't let them dribble. Don't dive in and let them dribble past us. That's just not closing down properly. I told them to step up more as well. Let's push the line up. There's not much higher I can put the lines. They're just the line's too low. And yeah, I just feel that you have to be aggressive. You can't let them just have space. You've got to get in their face. It's the only way to beat them in real life. The teams who play at 100 miles an hour are the teams who have the most chance. Okay, what are we not doing right? I think then maybe second half we might have to change and go and give them a game. But at 1-0 we are still in the game, but we can't score a goal, so we might still be in the game, but we're not in the game because we are still switched off. I don't know how to beat this switched off thing. We were lucky against West Ham. Very lucky. It's just because West Ham were worse than bad. What am I going to do? Okay, we're going to change some things. This is not working. We're just inviting them on. They're having a laugh at my expense. So I'm going to push right up. Trap inside can go away. Get stuck in. We're still on. And we'll just try and take the game to them. We should have more puff left than them now, because we haven't been... It's just a shame that City's players are not relaxing, Stephen. It's just a shame, but they can't decide, I'm afraid, to relax. And let City maul us like this. They can't decide that. It's like, Oh, I'm willing to give everything a try further. But we've been switched off for some reason. But I'm willing to try things. I don't want to see it again. And we just have to try and work out which ones of them can't be bothered. Muani, Verts. Why are they all anxious, apprehensive? He's just frustrated. Probably with all the others, because he's the only one having a good game. It is what it is. We'll just see what happens. My decision to do the low block didn't work. And we've just allowed them to absolutely give us a pasting. Just mess with the passing a little bit. Didn't anyone tell you we've been switched off? What sort of a shot was that? That one. Oh, FM, you're getting more and more bizarre every game I play. But at least we created a couple of chances. I know we have a lot more to offer. You weren't that bad. You were absolutely dreadful. Oh, Muani now. It's his turn. So that my strikers cannot play football. Isaac was constantly on a 6.4. Muani's turn to be on a 6.4. Put Florian Wirtz up there. He can't play football either. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Doesn't matter who we put up there. None of them can score a goal. Come on, do something. Somebody do something. No. Oh boy. If I buy Erling Haaland, he'll be exactly the same as Florian Wirtz. He'll be 6.4 every game. Might as well just try and develop Suwone. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Come on, FM. Right, some players have got to come off. I can't take this anymore. It doesn't matter who I buy up front. He's offside. Haaland's offside. I could buy Haaland and he still wouldn't score. Yeah, he was miles offside. But the game is telling me this is your last chance. We're going to give it as an offside this time, but if you fail to take the correct decisions from here, you're going to have an absolute thumping. So that's probably the last warning that I'm going to get. Oh, what a bunch of jokers. Here it comes. That was my last warning. Right, nothing's working, so I'm going to play it fairly narrow. We're going to try and keep possession. I've tried everything else. And work the ball into the box, slow it all down. Definitely don't do any dribbling. There's no point in counter pressing. Come off the trigger press a tad. Apart from that, I can't think of anything else to do. I've tried the low block and now we've tried the high press and nothing's working. And let's get rid of some of these buffoons off the pitch like Moani and João Neves. Dreadful, dreadful. And Tonali. Absolutely shocking. And while we're at it, Landerson has been terrible as well. It's completely redo midfield. And Bayomo, I tried to give a rest to. I took them from, the game will just change. It's like it winds you up and then it will just change. There's nothing you can do about it. When it's in that mood, and it will get harder and harder with each season you're successful. That's how, I knew it was coming. Oh, he's been given offside again, is he? That's how a computer game works. With each level you go through, it gets harder and harder and harder. Like the first 2 seasons in a save, you could do them blindfold. Just like if you don't get promoted in your first season, you really should be looking at a lot of tutorials because you should get back-to-back promotions. If you start off in League One, you should be in the Championship within 2 years. The game's really easy and it doesn't upset you in any way for the first couple of seasons, and then it just gets progressively harder and harder and harder until there's absolutely nothing you can do to control it. It's out of control. And that's like how a computer game functions. It gets harder with each. Oh, come on, that's another wing back. This is getting stupid. Oh, Frimpong. Well, I'm going to take him off the pitch. Another wing back. Fantastic. I'm going to bring Wirtz back to wing back. There's nothing I can do now. So now I think I've only got one right wing back left. I've got 3 in total left. One who can play on both sides. So given that there's only 4 games left. So maybe we'll just about survive. But is it only wing-backs that are allowed to get injured now? It doesn't matter how many you have. We are training Hall to be a wing-back. He's been injured. It doesn't matter how many you have. It just it's got its own little rules about that. There has been a time last year, or was it the year before, where I didn't have any wing backs left. Just injured them all. And I had to play with wingers instead of wing backs, which was really weird. I didn't do too badly. We had to do it for about 5 or 6 games. But we didn't do too badly, but we lost a few games as a result. So yeah, sometimes it'll take them all out, but it never does the same to midfielders or strikers, only wing backs. Which is kind of weird why it would do that. But hey ho, I don't make the game. Somebody else does. But you'll never get your entire midfield injured. But wingbacks, yeah, it doesn't mind taking out your complete set of wingbacks. And like I say, I've got 4 out of 7 injured now. If it injures another one, I'll have like only 2 left. And I'm pretty sure that they will get injured as well. And that was about as shocking as it comes. Yeah, it would look stressed. You were the worst player on the pitch, you and Muani. So, yeah, look stressed. But it's okay. Aston Villa didn't play. West Ham didn't play. But they can't catch us anyway. Hey, Erling. Oh, we were just talking about you. If I actually buy Erling Haaland for Newcastle, that's how we guarantee that he doesn't score more than 10 goals a season. Yeah, all my wing backs are being injured. Marvellous. When's the next game? Oh, there is a break. And we're not going to beat Tottenham either. But I'm just... If the low block is not going to work, I'm going to go back to that attacking tactic. We'll just go back to this one and attack Tottenham. If the low block isn't going to work either, then we'll just go and attack them. And whatever happens is whatever happens. Again, I'll take a point against Tottenham. He looks like a decent player. A decent player in the making. Not training very well. But he looks like he could be a decent player in the making. Well, I wonder what his personality is like, because his training is terrible. Hey, Lewis. Erling Haaland's big left toenail. Hi, Lewis. How you doing? And we'll do that. We'll do that. Was expecting more playing time. I think you'll have to be sold, son. He's played a lot of football in the second half. How many games does he want? He's played them all apart from 2, going back a long time. If that's not enough for a regular starter, then there's something wrong. Was expecting more. Was expecting to play for the reserves as well, perhaps, as every game. He can be sold then. If he's going to whinge like that. On your bike, sunshine. You haven't been that good, actually. What's his average rating? 6.83. Who's he demanding? He can only get himself a 6.8. So we now have another coach. And let's move on to Tottenham. Probably going to lose this one as well, even though they're in 10th. They are a bit of a bogey team. They do always beat me quite comfortably. And I'm not expecting it to be any different this time. We're just going to go and attack. Yeah, I know he's a good player. but he's not playing very well. So I might just go with what the assistant says this time for the team, because the teams I'm picking are just not playing well enough on the pitch. I'm going to go with this belief that I have that sometimes you just don't do anything. Sometimes you're going to have no input at all, or input success at all, and I believe that. So this time let the assistant do it. If I'm not having any input at this point in time, the assistant might. And we don't want to criticize him again. See, he's another one who has to be sold. If he thinks 6.2 in training is good, I'm not quite sure why he would think that. So we will let the assistant pick the team. Although, I'm not sure, why is he playing this guy Abras? This is a chance for Kamalo, even though he's not in form. We'll play Kamalo there. Abras, why is he picking someone who's never played? He's not even very good. I don't suppose he's that bad, is he? Let's give him a shot. Maybe he's one of these players who's just suddenly developed. I can't find him now. Where's he gone? Abras, where did you go? He's disappeared off the face of the planet. Has he gone back to the... Oh, there he is. He's gone back to the under-21s. He's not happy. He's like, oi, come back. Now we'll put you in the first team. What was that about? Instead of Kamalo. And we'll put Kamalo instead of Miley. I'm not in the habit of doing online favours, Louis, but what do you need? What do you need? If it's money, forget it. I haven't got any. So Moreno and Patterson is probably the better bet. And then Hartman. No, actually, he's right. Because I only have... Oh, I have Maidved, who can come on here. So Maidved, and who's the other one I've got? Who's the other wing back that I've got? Doig is not fit. Botman, Seon, Hartman. So they are two left backs. So I need Hartman to play, so Patterson can play on either side. That's okay. Larson and Florian Wirtz, Kumalo, Suone. I might as well play Suone because the other two are just like, they're not doing anything. So might as well play Suone. But let's go and try and win against Tottenham. We're going to play attacking. Whatever happens is whatever happens. It doesn't feel like I'm having any input at the moment, so the assistant manager can do this one. Okay. I think we need to think about where's the Okay, I've got no intentions. You're gonna have to toughen up. Where can I say, okay, you can go? The grass. Oh, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. He's changed his mind. But that wasn't fair on me. There wasn't an option to say, fine, you can go. That was not fair on me. But somehow we got out of it. Attacking to positive, no. Work the ball into the box, yes. No, I don't do Twitch. One platform is enough for me. I even forget sometimes myself that I'm old. So doing 3 times a week, the occasional video, is probably enough for me. And here we go. I expect to see a much better performance. Although 2-0 defeat to Manchester City isn't bad in anybody's book. It's just happened to Chelsea today. It can happen to us. 4 defeats in a row. I do not like things like that. Doesn't happen often. 4 defeats in a row, because I do know how to stop defeats. You've just got to get some draws in there in the middle. But when it does happen, I'm not very happy. 4 defeats in a row. Yeah, Spurs will win. I've absolutely no doubt Spurs will win. We lose 2 games in a row. But I'm actually letting this... letting the assistant mostly play this. So I'm not going to be making any changes. I will keep a look at the passing stats. And I will keep an eye on if we're doing anything really badly, if anything stands out. But mostly just leave it to him. Because it doesn't seem like my input's working at the moment. So just let the assistant run with it. And we will play the young boys against Fulham. And we'll keep attacking. Carapito made it into the team, did he? How come he can keep going like that and still say, I want more, I want more? Most of the players in real life are saying, give me a rest, give me a rest. Oh, come on, boys, come on. We can beat Newcastle. Nicely done. Come on, inside, inside. What a chance! Oh, we still can't score. What a chance. What is wrong with this game that it will not let me score? Will it let me score in the cup final, do you think? I hope it's going to ease up by the cup final. Yeah, they get paid so much money. Oh, he needs a rest. He's like, what? He doesn't need a rest. He needs more money. And then he'll be able to play more. I was watching the Premier League this weekend, of course, and sad Danilo broke his leg, broke his ankle. But I did watch one of the pundits who was making it into it's on Sky. This guy was making it into like the worst thing that's ever happened in history. One of the biggest catastrophes that's ever happened in history. He's broken his ankle. Yeah, sad, but it happens. And if you play sport, bones break. You have to accept that when you're a sportsman. You don't need to make these events into the worst thing that's ever happened in history. Which this pundit was like making my stomach churn in the end. He's broken his ankle. Yeah. People break their ankle every day in the street. But I'm not quite sure what this is about now that they're doing in football. They're highlighting, oh, he's got a broken finger, and making it like the most horrific thing that could happen to anyone. People break bones. If you don't want to break bones, don't play sport. That's how I was brought up. We had to understand that if you play sport, you will get injured. And if you don't want to get injured, don't do it. That's, we still can't get a shot on target, can we? Like, what is wrong with this game? And he was really building this up, and I am sad for Danilo. It's gonna hurt for a few days, but he's still gonna get paid for 8 weeks or whatever it takes to get him better, and then he's gonna have to start training again and get him better and get back into the team. It's not the end of the world, and I wonder what that pundit was, what the point he was trying to make. Yeah, I mean, he's broken his leg. Like, I don't know how many thousand people break their leg just in normal life. I have broken my leg. It hurts for a few days, but once you're out of bed and you can work on your crutches, you're fine. You're like a hero. I remember going to school on my crutches, and as a hero. And you feel like it as well. Like, look at me, I've broken my leg. And I don't know what on earth is going on. They have to have a tent around them as well. They have to see to them. They have to put a tent up. What? Your uncle broke his leg playing darts. That's a severe sport, that is, darts. Oh, come on, FM. You've got to let me score one. Come on. Ah, oh, what a silly game. Fell off the stage. Can you include beer in the injury? It was a beer injury. It is not... Breaking your leg or your ankle is not the worst thing that in the world that can happen. It can happen to anyone easily. And why they're making this out like footballers to be some kind of... it's like the Holocaust happening all over again. The poor thing's broken his leg. It happens. Thankfully, it doesn't happen often in a season. We still can't score. Thankfully, it doesn't happen often in a season. But it is going to happen. And if they don't want to break their legs, then don't play football, because it could happen to you. And they... being told to run at them, yeah, I'm going to take that off, because none of them are good at dribbling, even if they think they are. Honestly, I do, Stephen. I think they're big softies. I watched I watched somebody get tacoed today, and it was like the way he got up and he just got tackled. It was a good tackle as far as I was concerned. And he got up and he looked like the whole world was out of shape. He was wobbly, and that's how we used to tackle in the old days. And you didn't get that just once in the game. If you were a winger, you got that all the time. And I don't know what's wrong with them. Right, come on. Get up, dust yourself off, and get on with the next bit of play. But maybe it's about insurance. Yeah, I mean, it's part of sport. I've broken so many bones. That's a penalty, ref. I never get those where it looks like a penalty. I never get them. Come on, FM. Let me score a goal. You're just being selfish now. Still can't score a goal. I mean, I can remember Tequila when who was it? Was it Adams who slapped Van Nistelrooy on the head? Going back, there were headbutts going on and all sorts of stuff with Leeds and Chelsea, especially. There was like all sorts of scrapping going on there. It was part of the game. It's certainly excited. Yeah, our shooting has been dreadful, boys. The shooting is dreadful. But I don't want to take that off. We'll play for set pieces if we can't shoot properly. And maybe it's to do with the tempo. If they're just not focused. Please let me score a goal, FM. Oh, I don't want to play wide if I'm playing with short passing. But he was terrible. Whoever that pundit was, it was not the end of the world. And he tried to make it out like the world had ended. It was somebody broke his ankle. Yeah. He'll be in pain for a few days, but he'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. And probably he won't be in pain like we were in the old days, because they've got better medication these days. I remember when I broke my leg, it hurt for a few days, despite the aspirin they were giving me. But after a few days, it settled down. One of the funniest ones I know of is one of the funniest ones that ever happened was I was in school with this young lad. He wasn't the brightest of young boys, and we were taught not to get off the bus and go around the front of the bus. And that's what he did. He got off the bus, went round the front of the bus to cross the road. As the bus was starting off, the bus knocked him over and he broke his leg. So he's in the hospital. We all went to see him, bless him. And he finally comes out of hospital. He's on crutches. He's a nice chap. He's not quite all with it. And finally, after about 6 or 7 weeks, the plaster comes off and he's back walking on his legs now. The first thing that he does is he gets off the bus, He walks around the front of the bus when it's pulling out. The bus knocks him over, and he breaks his other leg. That's like that's one of the funniest things that I've ever seen. It's like, both legs he did. What a funny guy. And I kind of think, I was thinking at the time he was doing it to get time off school. I thought he was doing it. Yeah, you just want time off, don't you? Bless him. We all had to go to hospital to see him again with his other leg broken. But it was becoming a little bit tedious having to go to hospital to see him all the time. Oh, it was so funny. Let's give Stan a game. My dad, but also he was a rugby league player. And he played for Warrington. Is it Warrington or Wigan? I can't remember. I think maybe Wigan. And he was going to be capped, I think, by Great Britain. I think it's like they were still just professional in those days. They still weren't fully professional. He was going to get an England cap, and he was supposed to not play for your club a week before. But anyway, he did, and he broke his ankle. But he didn't know. My dad didn't know that he'd broken his ankle. And it was unfortunate. Which one of these two Herberts? But he didn't know he'd actually broken his ankle. So he carried on playing. And he actually kicked a penalty from the halfway line with his broken ankle. That's like, okay. He said afterwards that it hurt a bit at the time, and he couldn't understand why it hurt so much. But he actually kicked a penalty from the halfway line with a broken ankle. That's like I'm just wondering about footballers today and some of the things that happened to JPR Williams on the rugby pitch, and he just got up and just carried on as if nothing had happened. Footballers need to Bert Troutman played with a broken neck, didn't he? It was a fractured vertebra. It wasn't a clean break. It was a hairline fracture, I believe, but still extremely dangerous. But they were just, I don't know, are they just wusses today? Or are they instructed by insurance companies to do this stuff? Is that what it's about? I don't know. I think I have a funny feeling it's all about insurance. Because they must know. We can see that there's nothing wrong with them. Come on, let's score a goal, boys. We've been all over them all game. Come on, make me happy. Score a goal, someone. Yes! Finally, it's got into the net. FM has relented. Finally, it's let me score. Vinnie Jones. Oh my good lord. I mean, some of the tackles that he put in were like... But nobody complained. We just got up and got on with it. I've batted in the university's cricket final with a broken finger. But I couldn't open the batting, but I did go in at number 11. And unfortunately, we lost the game. But I broke my finger attempting a catch in the slips, and I just couldn't hold the bat properly. So I was due to open the batting, but I couldn't do it. But I did. I went in at number 11 to try and save the game, but I couldn't do it. I was batting one-handed, but still went in. And like people, were like, what? I just think there's something wrong with them today, that they can't do pain. Pain is just pain, and people, I think, today have a lower pain threshold. 2-0, did I miss that one? So Ace got his second. And I've missed that one now, have I? Telling Landerson to ease off the tackles. Oh no, it could be offside. It was disallowed. Whoa, that was close. Suddenly we've started playing some football. But leaving big gaps at the back. Oh, well done. Well done, Stan. That is a good substitution, that. Got to remember that Stan is only 22 years old. It's a really good player for 22, and he doesn't get any game time. So some of these players who we're thinking should be moving on are actually good players. And maybe it's just that a lot of these players are just too young to win anything at the moment. Good block. So yeah, I'm a bit Terry Butcher. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. The good old days. The good old days when sport was sport. Hey, pig. I won't say the whole word. Oh, come on, boys. Let's get another goal. Now that we're in the mood for scoring goals again, let's get another one. Moreno's doing all right out on that right-hand side. Go on, must be this time. And this is another person I don't know. Gwynzazu. Someone else I don't know has got that one. I didn't see this result coming. I really thought Tottenham were going to beat us easily. But we'll take it. But I don't think it means that we can get into 6th, does it? Still 7th. Yeah, still 5 points behind. Can't do it. To get to the Europa League, we are going to have to win the cup. Or it's the Conference League. Might be the difference between 60 million, perhaps, in the transfer budget. Yeah, possibly, because they're earning a lot of money as well. I don't know. It would just be nice if injuries weren't such a big drama. I understand it's sad for him, and it's going to hurt for a few days, but it isn't the end of the world. And it is sport, and if you play sport, you're going to get hurt. At some point, you're going to get hurt. If you think you're going to play sport and not get hurt, then you shouldn't do it. But yeah, it was like a bit strange that I thought this afternoon. Yesterday afternoon. So come on, let's finish this game, boys. I'll take this. I had no idea this was going to happen. I was distracting myself because I was expecting Spurs to hammer us. But we've turned it around, probably because we've played young players. Like half of these, I don't know who they are. So that's probably why we've won it. Makes me wonder if we should give them games for Fulham now as well. Probably. Or do I have to play my first team against Fulham? Because that's the last chance they're going to have to play before the final. They need to play together. So have you guys enjoyed the opening weekend of the Premier League? Has it been a long time coming and you've loved every minute of it? It was nice to watch some football this weekend. Although I did start watching football last weekend. I was watching the Championship last weekend. Watched a lot of Championship games last weekend. It's nice to watch football again. Oh, you're joint first. I did announce somebody's got 69 points at this point in time. Did that announcement earlier. So you must have 69 as well. Not happy watching Shah. Well, that for me is an example of what we were just talking about just now. What's happened to sport? The guy conned the referee as far as I was concerned. He went down like he'd been run over by a 15-ton truck. And that's not football. Reminds me of like wrestling where they just con people. But he did move his head. And the rules are if you move your head towards somebody, then you get sent off. What the referee didn't see was that the other player also moved his head as well. So they both actually moved their head. But like you can't call that a headbutt. It's like the referee was conned, unfortunately. He went down like he'd been run over by a steam train. That was a good win for us against Spurs, an exceptional win. That keeps us in 7th with one game to go. So yeah, I mean that's part of the game that I don't like anymore. Conning the referee, that never happened in the old days. We never used to have to do that. And that's part of the game I really, really don't like. Like, cheating has become part of the game, a big part of the game. Getting somebody sent off has become a big part of the game. So what's happened to him? Yeah, you can go. Absolutely no problem. I'll try and find a new club for you as soon as possible. Quite happy for him to go. In fact, I've transfer listed him. He's a bit late handing in his transfer request. I've already transfer listed him. Garvey. He would be a good one to bring in instead of Guimaraes. To be an exceptional player. If we get rid of Guimaraes, bring him in. What a good swap that will be. And now Fulham. Oh, Brentford lost, did they? But I don't think it's enough. We're still 5 points behind with a game in hand. And that was their game in hand. So, it doesn't make any difference. We have to win the cup to get into the Europa League. Who is Gerardo Guzman? Scout again. He's getting busy on scouts, is he? So, come on, boys. Come on. Let's win this last game of the season. Finish 7th and then go out there and win the cup. Would be so good if we can win the cup. That'll be 21 trophies. Guimaraes not training well. We can criticise him. Boyomo, we can criticise him as well. Europa League or Conference League, not a big difference. It's just the money. I think if we get to the Europa League, we'll get a bigger budget. He wants to play the same team against Fulham. I don't. I want to play the first team. So I'm going to play João Neves there. I'm going to play Florian Wirtz with Konate. I'm going to play Kumalo with Abras. Kumalo's gone down 1, has he? 1 star. Half a star he's gone down, but he's still a good player. Probably because somebody else has gone up a bit. And actually Neves, Tonali, Neves can come back here. Tonali can come in here. And that means Wirtz, Shazavari. I still have faith in that boy. Shazavari can play the attacking midfield role. See you later, Erling, Luis. And then those two are probably not the best partnership according to the scouts, but they're both good players and both need to be. See, he's only 2 star, but a good player. Or the other thing to do is to bring Neves up and to put Landerson, who is a good player and often gets overlooked. Where is Landerson? Where's he gone? What is going on with there he is. So Landerson, who is a good player and often gets overlooked, he can play there. Kamalo has to do a little bit better today or he won't be playing in the cup final. And then Patterson, Hartman. Have any of these come back to fitness? Frimbong is almost fit. Doig, Hall, still not fit. Muani can come onto the bench. And Larsson, Moreno, Maidvid, Stan, Larsson, Carapito. And that's the team we'll go in against with Fulham. And hopefully we will win this last game of the season. Oh, he's just got himself injured, has he? See, the game was listening to me when I was saying earlier that it never injures your midfield. Now it's going after my in midfield just because I said that. And it's brought Doig back. It's now going after my midfield. So let's go and change that then. I might actually give Gumares his last game before he leaves. Be nice to him. Landerson. Actually, should I? Yes. We'll give Gumares his last game. But we're going to swap those over. Tonali is probably better playing there. No, probably not a good idea. And that's probably it. Let's go and play against Fulham. Press with higher intensity. I don't know what you mean when you give me that instruction. I really don't know what you mean. And we are playing with a higher line. We are playing extreme gegenpress. I don't know what he means by press with a higher intensity. Do you guys know what he means when he says that? Because I have absolutely no idea. Morley Games, hi, how you doing? And we should be beating Fulham. And we are favourites here. Let's get out there. Do the job. Let's go into the cup final on a high. Not feeling depressed because this first team couldn't beat Fulham. This should be a walk in the park, boys. For any other team, it would be. But for us, no. No, 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 no. Well, there's nothing I can do from that and read from that. It's just a set piece where they've had all the match momentum so far in the first 10 minutes, which is not exactly what I was hoping for. Well, they are all cuddled together in the middle of the field. So the fact that we are playing wider should mean we can get behind them. I get a funny feeling the game's going to make me lose this one, isn't it? A team we should again be spanking. It's going to make me lose this one. We beat Tottenham, who is no right to beat, and then we're going to go and lose this one. Burton Albion. That's a good save, Burton Albion. That would be a nice save to do. Okay, we're going to come off the press because it just looks like they're taking the piss out of us. They're obviously not Fulham. They've drafted in Brazil. So we're going to come off the press. We're going to come off the gegenpress because they are just taking the mick out of us. conserve some energy. And shout at them. It's like it's the first team. The more players I play from the first team, the worse we are. He goes and picks those boys like Abras and other players I've never heard of, and we won against Tottenham. I picked the first team and we can't play football again. It's like the first team can't play anymore. I've got to play the young boys. It's kind of weird. Very, very strange. We have come into the game, though. Just got to see if we can score a goal or two. Referee penalty? I never get those. The other teams always get those. It's always like that after somebody stumbles in the box, in your box. There's always that penalty review. I never get them. Oh, go on, son. It's a bit compacted in the box, isn't it? So maybe I've got to draw them out. Everybody's in their penalty area. So maybe I've got to draw them out somehow. Maybe it's a low block time again. Look how many bodies are in that box. Maybe it's time to go into a low block. It happened the last time we beat a team lower in the league. We had to go defensive. So let's go defensive early. Come on, referee. Penalty again? I don't get many penalties either. Right, let's go into this low block. Everybody's just sitting in their penalty area. Let's push, squeeze up a little bit as well. And if we can then draw them out, we'll make our passing a little bit. Take that off. Try to play a little bit wider. And what we want to do is come off attacking and we'll go balanced. Try and get them out of their own penalty area. Come on, Kamalo. It's about time you gave me a game. Vert's first touch is useless. So annoyed about spending 100 million on someone who is the worst footballer in the Premier League. It's like, that's a bit annoying, that. Now they've come out. Now we've got a chance. Offside, unfortunately. I still can't score, though. So, not that one, you twit. We're going to go back to balanced. I just don't want to lose this game. Have 38 shots with one on target and then they score with one of theirs. So, we'll go defensive, which is often the way to beat these teams at the bottom of the league. We did it in the last game before Tottenham. Let's see if it works again. Go defensive. More direct. Kanate can't play football. I don't know who discovered him. Needs to be sacked. I don't think he's ever had more than a 6.5. Immediately goes on to a 6.5 right from the kickoff. Guimaraes, Bruno. Too old, Bruno. That's your problem. That's why you haven't been playing. Kamalo. If you keep substandard performances, you'll be on the transfer list as well. It's just not good enough. My best transfer was Jesus Abba. What a player he is. He's gone up 1 star in the half season that he's been here. What a player. Oh gosh, the computer's now heard me say that. I've completely forgot. Now we're in trouble. Abba is going to make a complete plonker of himself in a minute. I completely forgot. Just beat Charlton. You loved it. You love that nerve-wracking end to the season. Especially if it goes your way, Molly. If it doesn't go your way, it's not as nice. And I just have a funny feeling the end of the season's not going my way here. Oh, there you go. Look how clinical they are compared to us. And they're going to get a penalty soon. I never get those decisions. But the opposition do. What are we doing in terms... Why are we getting so many cards? No, we're not getting stuck in. We have to stay on our feet then. Because there's way too many cards. Struggling to get shots away, are we? That's because everybody's sitting in their box and they're not moving. I just did. I beat you to it. Oh, come on. Oh, it's a goal. Kamalo! Oh, finally. You must have heard me that you were going to be put on the transfer list. And finally you've decided I better get my act together. Yeah, we can have a look at the tactic before we go to the cup final. This is it's just an adaptation of something that did the rounds early on. I've been playing with a 3 at the back, but I've been switched off a little bit, and so I decided, okay, time to change the tactic. It's something I've adapted, that's well known, that's adapted through my own team. And we're going to see, we're playing 4 with a 2, and then another 2 and a 2. It's a 4-2-2-2. It's a narrow tactic, but I'm actually playing wide with it because I've got both wing backs on attack. I have a good enough defence and a good enough rest defence to attack with this. But at times I don't know what's wrong, but at times they look like they're just an average team. They don't look like a very good team. Go on. Oh, what was his first touch again? I have to have a look at that. Florian Wirtz's first touch. 16. He very rarely controls the ball. Very, very rarely. And what is the score? Is it 0-0? No, we've scored, haven't we? You weren't that bad. You weren't that bad. He was, but let's lie to them. I don't think they've caused us any problems at all, have they? But our forwards have not caused them any problems either. What am I seeing? He just doesn't look as speedy as he used to when he was at Coritiba, Kamalo. Looks like he's behind the game. Maybe he's not going to make it in the Prem. It should be kind of sad that if I have to let him go. But I can't have any passengers. Going to give him one more season. That's what happens, boys, when you don't put your chances away. That's what happens. I had a funny feeling that this was going to happen. We shouldn't have beaten Tottenham, and I don't know what happened there. But this is another team at the bottom of the league. And the way we are up front at the moment, we cannot score goals. So I had a funny feeling that this was going to happen. But it doesn't matter. FM can be FM at the moment because we're stuck in 7th anyway. Nothing that can go wrong. Kamalo, get your act together. Well, that's not doing it. Well done, Tonali. Somebody there making an effort. Neves as well. Let's shout at them. What do you guys think about the shouts not being available in FM25? Do you think it's a good idea, or will you miss having the shouts there? What do you think? I like berate. I like berate. I don't know if it does any good at all, but it makes me feel better. When I'm playing on my own, I don't know. It just makes me feel better when I can berate them. That's not there. And I also know that last year in the Wilden save, the shout focus really worked for him. Every time I shouted focus at him when he was playing badly, he scored. And sometimes he'd end up with a brace. And that's because his concentration was 7. He was an extremely good player, but he only had 7 concentration. So if he was playing badly, I just used to shout at him, focus. And his concentration must get lifted a few points for a while. I think that's what happens when you shout at them. Because if you shout, demand more, work rate, their attributes go up a couple of points. But it doesn't last forever. It maybe only lasts for 10 minutes. Oh, finally, João Neves with his head. He's about as tall as Kamalo. We've got another one. So I don't know. I think I will miss the shouts. They're nice to play with. See if they work or not. I mean, if you look at them, there's a logic to them. Like berate, you wouldn't want to berate young players, but more experienced older players, you'd berate them. Praise would be for young players, developing players, not for older players. And sometimes I think that people don't see that when you praise someone, he then gets angry with you. It's because your expectations are different to his. He expects more of himself than you are expecting from him. So that's why he gets angry. But a young player, when you praise him, it doesn't matter. Praise is praise for somebody who's really young. And then demand more. I think lifts the work rate. So your work rate will go up a point or so. No pressure, not quite sure about that one. What happens to that one? Maybe flair goes up for 10 minutes or so. Fire up is aggression. If you're not an aggressive team, fire up will bolster your aggressive attribute. So I think they fairly speak for themselves, really. And then you have focus, which is concentration. Calm down is also linked to aggression. And so you can get an opposite result with calm down. So I think whether they work or not, though, I don't know. I have no idea. Except I know that the focus worked for Wilden in that Norwich save. So, but I don't know about the others. It's also possible further, yeah, it's just there. FM just puts it there just to give you some sort of sense of control. I don't know. Really tough to really figure it out. Kanate rubbish again. And we'll bring on Suwon. And have these young boys got themselves a game? Maybe the two midfielders have got to come off because they are on cards, as well as Neves, but that's it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, come on, boys. We are not playing very exciting football at the moment. It's quite dire. Should I be playing at this tempo? Let's bring it down a bit. Let's press them. And I'm going to push the lines up this half. They must be tiring. And we should be fresh, so we should be able to go at them now. Especially as they've started to come out. Hopefully it's not too late. So now that they're coming out, maybe we can attack them now. Let's go back to attacking. Okay, let's try and get this third goal and win this game. Because they've definitely come out at it. I'm afraid you've got to go. Yeah, I think I probably do agree with you further. I think that they probably don't work very well or efficiently. Maybe they will come back in a better form. Come on, let's put some pressure on these numpties. Well, let's get a shot on target, for goodness sake. Let's just take that off. Have a shot. Go on. Go on, have a shot. There you go, you see? What a manager. Have a shot, boys. Well, we've got that elusive third goal. 3-1, and that's good news to go into the final. I don't think that's made a difference to the table. But it's always good to finish on a win. If we can beat West Ham now, in the final, we'll get into the Europa League. Can we do it? The question is, do I play with the 3 at the back against West Ham or with this one? I think we go with this one. I think the final is about team selection. It's about my first team being totally out of form. And who in these young boys do I pick? Sion, does he possibly demand a game in the final? I don't think I can play Kamalo, but he's suddenly found his touch again. I'm tempted to go Kamalo and Florian Wirtz in attacking mid. Or Kamalo, Neves, put Florian Wirtz up top. I don't know how I'm going to... Any ideas what I should do, boys, team selection-wise? I think Landerson deserves to play. Carapito has not been playing good enough. Jesus, Abba, Guehi, Moreno. If we can score a couple of goals early against West Ham, we will have won it. But the longer the game goes on, the more I will worry. Who is this Herbert? He's the Hartman. He is not my favourite player, but he's on a 7.5. And he's just giving the ball away like that. Like, how are the ratings worked out? Come on, where's Kamalo? I want him to score another one. What was that, Sion? How do you say his name? Sione. Yeah, you should. I think that this attacking West Ham seems to be the best thing to do. I think we look a little bit better when we're attacking. Even Tottenham couldn't handle us in the end. But that was after I went into the low block, wasn't it? So I don't know. Should I set up in a low block? It's a really tough one. It's really tough. If you're playing well, it's just like so easy to do. But we're getting wins, but we are not playing well. I suppose that's a good sign if you can grind out results like this when you're not playing very well at all. Make it 4-1 even. Oh, he's offside, is he? Then at some point you are going to put in a spanking performance on the field. Oh, it has been awarded. We've thumped them 4-1. Hey, Erling, Luis, how are you doing? You're back. So I think we go with this. I mean, we've just beaten West Ham with this tactic. We go with this. It's about team selection now. I'm looking forward to the final now. Luis, looking forward to the final. Are we good enough to win it? I don't know. I think we've got a chance. I'd say it's 50-50 we have a chance. One more goal here. We could even make this 5-1 going into the final. Go on, son. Go on, son. Somebody have a poke. Jesus Abba, he'll have a go. But unfortunately, it's come to nothing, and I think that's the referee's whistle is about to blow. And Fulham have been destroyed. Smith. Who is Smith, Andy? And that's it. We have beaten them. I know how West Ham are going to play. And that is the end of the season. Have they set the budgets, I wonder? If they set the budgets before the final, Kamalo on form, so maybe he has to play now. If they set the budgets, then before the final, then we don't have anything to worry about. We'll just play in the conference. And we need to look at the training. And we need to go to our calendar. Big match preparation. This is not necessary. Well, we'll keep that one. These are not necessary. We'll go to set pieces, set piece routines, and this one will add more penalties. All the rest is not necessary. We don't need any shadow play training to that degree. Team bonding, that's a good idea. Can I still affect that? Let's put some team bonding in here. Team bonding. Always handy to have that in the week before a final. Muani is second. They're not going to set the budgets until they know which competition we are in. That's a bit sad. And because it's West Ham, if West Ham win it means we're not going to jump one place above. Frimpong is out. Another wing back. What is wrong with this game? Another wing back injured. Decline. Because you're just trying to wind me up and I'm not going to let you. So we'll just decline that nonsense. Wing backs are not safe in this game. Can I actually change their playing position and call them midfielders? Then perhaps the game will leave them alone. But this is about taking my best players out. That's what it's doing. There'll be one more. Oh, what's his team selection? Moreno, Abba, Botman. Botman instead of Guehi. Big call. Doig, Landerson, Carapito. Well, we'll play Landerson, but I don't want to play. And look at this buffoonery he's got up here. Abras, Shazavari, Kanate. These are... This does not make any sense to me. Wouldn't you want to play your best team in the final? Wouldn't you want to play your best forwards? So he's got Kanate in there, but he's left players like... who are, must be said, are not playing extremely well. Florian Wirtz. And he's left Neves out, who is playing quite well. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then we'll play Kamalo. That would make more sense to me. Botman and Abba, no. No. Guehi and Abba. And Jesus Abba's gone up a whole star in half a season. He's done really well. Carapito is not a ball winner. Landerson is. But Tonali is a good ball winner. I think that's a better team. Kamalo's just gone back up that half a star. He went down half a star. The average natural fitness. Well, natural fitness affects how quickly they'll recover. I think it's a game thing. Natural fitness is not about how many times they'll get injured. It's about how quickly they'll recover from an injury. I think it's just part of the game that you have to put up with. All through FM22, I had to deal with this fullback nonsense. All through FM22. It was just doing my head in. There was no reason for it. No, we're not putting Isaac on the bench. Are you crazy, man? Who is the other? Moreno or Patterson? Boyomo is good to have on the bench. Actually, can he play? No. Better that he does the cover duty. Just Guehi is a little bit quicker than him. Boyomo, Muani, so Dom Baker, probably a good call. Larson. We can put Hartman on the bench. Stan is a good player, but we've already got our Shazavari, Muani, Suwon, and we need one more midfielder, Larson. Dom Baker and Larson. That seems about as good as I can get it. So that looks like a pretty decent team to me. And I think we just go and do what we did to West Ham before. Can we do it? Lewis Hall out for another wing back. And Suone's got himself injured. How many injuries am you going to give me? Come on. How many am I supposed to have? Isaac will have to come on the bench then. This is his time. We've got Isaac back on the bench. I tried so hard not to play him. Oh boy. And I've absolutely no doubt now that we're going to get somebody play really badly up front, or we're going to get an injury up top and Isaac has to come on and play. Absolutely no doubt. These Isak's training 6. I don't think there's any need to bother to tell them at the last game of the season. Wages to turnover ratio. I don't know if that's good, 50%. So we give half of our turnover in wages. Probably not very good. Isak will score the winning goal in the 95th minute. Here we go, boys. The cup final. I am not taking his advice. You play your strongest team in the cup final. I do think we should play for set pieces. Doig is struggling for fitness, so Hartman should probably play, and Doig on the bench. Konate or Muani. Muani is the team's top scorer. 2 injuries to come. This is 2031 now. We are in season 30-31. We are looking, we've won 3 of the 4 trophies that we need to win. We only have the Champions League left to win. But I'm not going to do it with this Newcastle team. How old is Isaac? About 180. I think he is 31 now. I've been trying to sell him, but we haven't been able to sell him. I think we go with this team. Yep, let's go to the game. The team look very happy. There's no selection issues with them. It's whether or not they can do the job now. Whether or not I can remain focused enough to do mine. Pick up where you left off. It's only West Ham. We always go back to him because he always changes his mind, as he has done there. I'm going to type Mark Ward-Prowse, despite the fact that he is old. And him on his right foot. So we'll just keep an eye on which one of their midfielders. I thought he kind of reminded me when he was playing. He kind of reminded me of Fellaini, funnily enough. He looks and runs like Fellaini. So I kind of like thinking, oh God, I hope we haven't bought another Fellaini. But what I like about him is he plays as a deep-lying forward. And he's playing as a deep-lying forward on attack. He's on an attack duty. And I like that. I like teams to have a forward who can do that. But what I would like to see is I'd like to see United playing a 4-4-2 now. Because I think if Hyand, or what's his name, Hoyand, or if he can play... Yes, we are ahead, João Neves. Is it going to be given offside, though? They're having a cry in the West Ham defence. Is it going to be given offside? I have a funny feeling it might be. It might be offside. No, it's been awarded. We've gone a goal ahead. I like having a deep-lying forward. And he did. If you look at his movement when the goal was created because he moved back. He stopped. And the defenders went with the other players. And so he was sitting in a big hole of space here. So he could pretty much then do what he liked. We nearly screwed it up, but that wasn't his fault. Garnacho and Casemiro nearly screwed it up on the edge of the box here. And that would have been unfortunate. But Garnacho finally decided to get out of Casemiro's way. But it was his decision to sit back. And I love a deep lying forward like that. If he can play that role, it'll be great. But he does look and run like Fellaini, I have to admit. That worried me. Oh, I thought Neves had got another one. I thought his movement was really good, and the fact that he sits in here and he doesn't he's not one of those bombing forward all the time. He just sits in here and tries to make trouble in this space. But when needed, he will make his way very quickly into a dangerous area. And I think I quite like him. Deep lying forward on attack. Love it. He made one move across as well. He made one movement across the winger, which dragged players out of the middle. I think he could be a good player in his day, but he's still got a lot of development left to do. So yeah, I mean, interesting. That's what I'll say at this stage. If he can keep developing. And we're losing this game at the moment. West Ham have got all the ball. Me, I'm 66, Luis. 66. Get hold of the ball, boys. Get hold of the ball. We're giving the ball away too often again. But come on, Moreno. You got this. Go on, son. Go on. Let's go and win the cup for the fans. Go on, son. Go on, Neves. Oh, I hate cup finals. I absolutely hate cup finals. I hate semi-finals even more. But cup finals, oh my God. Come on, boys. Always remember to watch the game as a manager, not as a spectator. Well, where's the line? Where are my lines? That should be okay. Should be okay. Although Wembley is a big pitch, isn't it? But I think that should be okay. We should beat West Ham with that. And we are looking better. We're creating chances. I might slow the tempo down in a minute. I'll have a look at the possession numbers. Chance! Oh, what a chance. Go on, Kamalo. Go on. Back into the box. You can do this. Penalty, ref. Oh, I forgot to wear my suit, Andy. I left it in the dressing room. I've only got me vest on. I don't own a suit. I don't need a suit. The only time I'll probably need a suit is for my funeral. So, and I don't want to buy one for that. So they're only going to burn it. So I don't own a suit. If I go to a wedding, like I'll have to go to next year, I just hire a suit. I'm not going to hire a suit for FM. No, got to draw the line somewhere. It does make it, though, I suppose, for the spectators, make it look like it's a final, because it could look like any other game in terms of FM. It doesn't look like a final to me. Go on, son. Landerson. He scored last game, didn't he? Come on, we got this. It's only West Ham. Question is anyone causing me any grief at the moment? Oof. Ward-Prowse should be type marked. He's a deadly player in FM. Not in real life, though. Alvarez is a dangerous player. I need to do something about him, I think. Or something like that will happen. That was quick to make the decision. Or something like that will happen. I don't. Because of that placard, I didn't even see what happened. Bowen. So it's their wingers again, isn't it? This is always going to be a problem with West Ham. So let's have a look at... Oh, Jarrod Bowen clearly needs tight marking. He's the only one who's had a key pass. So it's not anything that we should be worrying about. But it's their wingers again. It's always their wingers that cause me problems. But I don't think it's anything. As long as we can take some of our chances, it's not something we should be worried about. If we look at, like, it's just about, is the game going to be nice to me or is it going to be not nice? Because we're totally dominating. They've just had one shot, one goal. I don't think FM does that in a final, does it? 2 shots, 2 goals, and you have 30 shots and they win 2-1. I don't think FM does that in a final. I don't think I've ever seen it. So we're totally in control at the moment. We just need to put another one away. Go on, son. Come on. Hartman, do something. You keep whinging. Ooh, I think he took that in then. Or maybe we've got... They're not sitting deep. They're sitting in a mid-block. It's just another annoying 4-4-2. I was, for the last 20 years of my life, I was an academic director, but yeah, you are right, it's school related, as well as being an international spy on the side. Yeah, you're right, it's I was an academic director. I've been a manager for pretty much all my working life. I think I started as a manager when I was 25, and I've been a manager ever since. It's kind of what I was supposed to do. Yes! And now I'm a manager of Newcastle, and this could be our 21st trophy. Landerson, he's got himself a yellow card again. But he scored in the last 2 games. He is a good player, actually, Landerson. Doesn't get the credit he deserves. So now we are back in front. I didn't think the game would do an FM on you in the final. We're totally controlling it. Got to stop these wingers somehow. Which might mean... Because I think he is told not to close down. I just don't want him closing down. And we'll do the same this side. Don't close down. Just back off the wingers. And then force them outside. And we've got big enough boys to deal with it. But yeah, don't close them down. Oh, here's Ward-Prowse. I don't like him in FM. Unless I do my usual beta save with West Ham. He's good then. Oh, it's 2-2. They do it then in FM, do they? What is it? 2 shots, 2 goals. Oh, I'm going to be really annoyed if this is how it is going to play out. Oh, I didn't think they would do that in a final. But they are going to do it. That'll be really annoying. Let's demand more from them. I did not think that the game would do that to you in a final. I thought it would play fair in a final. Well, it's going to have us missing all our chances now, is it? Alright, do I have to go into a low block to defend against these monkeys? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I just don't believe that the game would do that in a final. That's so unsporting, so unfair. I mean, and I did say I'd have a look over the weekend to see if there's ever any teams that have 2 shots and 2 goals, and it doesn't happen. It certainly does not happen. So I don't know what the game is doing here. It's just trying to wind me up again, is it? That's what it's doing. Oh well, do what you like. The season's finished. Let's just hope that the... Oh God, what are they doing? It's because it's my first team. It just doesn't like my first team. If I'd have put the assistant manager's youth team in, we'd be winning now. Maybe this team is rubbish and all the youth are excellent. It's time for Isak. This time, though, we've scored goals. But just to wind me up, they've had 2 shots and scored twice. I think we need to buy West Ham's players in the transfer window. Because if they can play like that... We got another one, have we? Is this going to be given offside? Just to really wind me up. I bet you it is. Just to really wind... Yeah, there you go. Ah, boy. We'll stay in the low block. A team like Newcastle should not have to play in a low block against West Ham to win. Should not. I think we should come down to positive. I don't know why we have to play in a low block against these teams to win matches. It doesn't happen in real life. You don't see Pep or Klopp or any of those top managers going into low blocks against teams who they're clearly better than in order to win. FM, you've got to sort this out. I mean, Pep would have a heart failure if he realised that against Fulham he has to win the game by going into a low block. And that's the only way he can beat these teams at the bottom of the league. He'll have a heart failure. So there's something seriously flawed about the game. It's Fulham. We had to do it against Tottenham. They're all teams below us. We had to pretty much become a defensive team and play on the counter-attack. But against the bigger teams, we can attack them and win. It's just a crazy game. See, here's the counter-attack, where it becomes suddenly a very defensive team who just counter-attack. And might as well come off the counter-press as well, go totally counter-attack. To become, and then we'll go balanced as well. So we become a total counter-attack team now. Because we're scared. But we're not scared of West Ham, we're scared of the game. And then at the end of the game, I mean, look how much we've beaten them by. Could be time for Isaac. Could well be. Go on, Kamalo. Oh, Jesus. How many more times? 3 shots, 2 goals, 12, 2 goals. Us and them. They are still trying to go down the wings. Florian Wirtz is nervous. Why? You have the ability. Right, let's get him back up. He's having a poor game. One of the most experienced players, the goalkeeper's having a poor game. Not happy with your performance. Get on with it. And yeah, we've got so many players having good games. I don't know what the game's playing at. The game we're done. I didn't think it did that in finals. That's really nasty. In a final. Come on, let's get the winning goal. Then we can all go home. It's not going to be our day, is it? Come on. Oh boy, what's that, 15 shots now? 14. Well, we've tried the low block to pull them out. That hasn't worked. We're still missing. At the end of the day, I think it's just whatever the program is going to decide. What else can I try? Possession football. Go much more attacking when they've got 75 minutes on the clock. They are just like, but they're going to score again, aren't they? 4 shots, 3 goals. In the transfer window, boys, we got to buy West Ham players. They're brilliant players. They haven't been in the game, mind. They just look like they're going to score every time they go forward. That's dreadful. Come on, work harder. Hartman. That was a fierce tackle. Hartman is playing better than Moreno. Kamalo's poor, and Florian Wirtz. How come Florian Wirtz never has a good game? Two attacking mids are very poor. So maybe it's a case of pushing João Neves up. So to push João Neves up to attacking mid, because it's these two, they're awful. Oh, maybe Tonali. And as we are playing with a low block, if I drop the line back as well, it'll make it almost impossible for them to counter-attack. I don't like the fact that they look like they can score every time they get out of their penalty area. Here we go again. So if I pull the line back, we'll see how that affects the game, because it'll stop them getting behind us at least. And it shouldn't affect our passing, because we're playing more direct passing. Wirtz just gave up, didn't he? He's not interested in the game. Why would somebody not be interested in the cup final? It just doesn't look interested, does he? Just gave up running after it. Right, let's get him off. He's not even taking free kicks anymore. What's going on here? Right, let's get Wirtz off. He is not the man today. And Isak time. It's Isak. Perhaps he's broke his leg. Maybe, Andy. Maybe just didn't tell us. Kamalo's just about hanging on. Guehi has not been good. Not impressed with Guehi over the last couple of games. And maybe my assistant was right. Botman was the man. And Doig deserves a shot in the final. João Neves, you're playing to the end, Sam. Goalkeeper is on a 6.5. That's a worry. But the one key pass, that's all they've got. That's all they've been in the game. And that key pass was the assist for the first goal. And then I don't know what they've done since then. Nothing. But every time they come out of their penalty area, they look like they're going to score. Whereas we don't look like we're going to score at all. We look like a joke. So now I've got a forward injured. I've just taken off. Oh no, they've got a red card, have they? I thought I'd got a forward injured, but they've got a red card. So do I need to do anything or stay balanced? We're already ahead. It's for them to come and get the game. So I just need to put fit players on. Kamala's started to play a little bit better. Moreno's not playing very well, or the goalkeeper. Having a goalkeeper who's not playing very well is a bit worrying. But you can see it, Lewis. You can see that we can't score. How many shots have we had? 20. And they've had 3 and scored twice. We've had 20. And it's just like every game, it looks like there's another one. Like they cannot get shots on target. And look at the difference between the two teams passing. Totally destroyed them. And this is a function of the game, unfortunately. Kamalo's gone up to a 7. How did he manage that? But I'm happy that he's had 2 good games. Isaac on the ball. Oh, get in. No. We need this goal, boys. We need 2 clear goals. Or they will go and do this. And that's not bad. That's the standard line. We stopped them getting behind. Yeah, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. We stopped them getting behind by pulling the line down. Because they will play down those wings. But we still can't score. What are you up to then, Luis? What are you up to next Thursday? Again, another one. I mean, you can't score from every one of your attacks. But the opposition do. It's just the way the game is organised. And this is something you see quite often. But we got 10 minutes and we will win this final and we will be in the Europa League. Which is just a little better than the conference. I've got 2 subs to make. Neves is apparently given up. Shazavari can come on for him. Kamalo is also given up. I don't have anyone who can come on for him, though. Nobody can go up and fill that position. Oh, Dom Baker. Dom Baker. And let's see if we can't get this 4th goal. Go on, son. Go on, Landerson. Stop happening. I think I need to shout some encouragement. Come on, get on with it. Come on, we're nearly there, boys. Going to Blackpool and Manchester. Sounds like a nice little trip you got going there. Enjoy. I think we probably won't be back until Thursday because it's Sunday today. We're going to finish the season today. I have to give you guys a few days to work on the transfer window. So I'll do something else Tuesday evening while we wait for people to work on the transfer windows. If people do it within a day, then we could, if people do the transfer window within a day, we could come back on Tuesday. But better to give a couple of days to people and then we'll come back Thursday and I'll upload a video or something for Tuesday. But at the moment, we're just kind of like, I don't know what this is. It's just typical Newcastle this season. We're winning games, but we're not really winning them. We're just grinding out results from such dominant positions. Yeah, it'll work just fine. It'll work just fine, Stephen. It'll just load into your game without any problem at all. You just won't have my mods, that's all. But it will load into the game just perfectly. Okay, guys, we got 5 minutes to go. If you lose this now, I think I'll just resign. Because we have absolutely lambasted them. But he shouldn't have to have pulled the line back to beat them. But that's what it took. And we... Even when they went down to 10 men, they've... Like, defensively, they've stopped our forwards. You wouldn't even know we had forwards on the pitch. Oh, come on. Somebody put it in. Three minutes left. Is it going to be the 21st trophy? Well, he's definitely wasting time. Even though I haven't told them to waste time. Now we can waste time. I don't like that little green button up there. Sometimes I miss that. Go on, Shazavari. No, not even he's going to get a goal. And actually, I think probably we should buy the entire West Ham team. They've got an amazing defence. They score without needing any chances at all. Let's buy the entire West Ham team. Penalty, ref. No, we don't get penalties, do we? Come on. Come on, boys. 32 shots, only 13 on target. Isak is being as good as he usually is. Oh, referee, time's up. Yes, time is up. It's full time. Another trophy. 21st trophy. The first at Newcastle. We need one more. Well, two more would be nice at Newcastle. The Premier League title and the Champions League. 21 trophies in a safe. That's pretty good. 8 seasons. Not bad. I'll take that. Newcastle have won the FA Cup, and Ben is not here to see it. Silver Ali is here, I think, to see it. And we have another trophy in the cabinet. And that means we are in the Europa League, and what we need to find out for you guys is how much money you're going to go and get to spend. But you have lots of players to sell. Lots of players. And 3-2. I'm not. I don't feel delighted like everybody else. It was a narrow victory. Where's the budgets? Newcastle qualify for the Europa League. So where's the budgets then? Come on. Once again, VAR. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Come on, give us some budgets. We're not going to get any budgets here. I wonder why. Ah, here we are. 8 million and 153 million. Well, looking at what the club finances are at the moment, we are already above the wage budget. But don't forget, we have 250k from that, from Marquinhos, who is retiring. 153 million. There's about 5 or 6 players to sell. No, you can change the tactic, Andy, if you want to. But you got to remember that if they are going to learn a new tactic, if you're going to introduce wingers, that's going to take up a lot of your budget. You're going to be stuck then with the same forwards and the same... But yeah, if you want to change the tactic and you think your tactic's going to work well, then change the tactic. But generally, I think that if I was doing it, I would probably go back to the 3 at the back, but just be a little bit more attacking with it. You could tweak the 3 at the back. I think that's what they are most familiar with. Or it's up to you. Change it to a 4 at the back, but remember, we have no wingers. Could play as a 4 as a diamond, I guess. Or yeah, we're going to struggle because you're going to have to buy 4 wingers. So keeping to the same shape is probably going to be a good idea. But you have got money, and I reckon sell some players. You could have about 320 million to spend, which is a fun budget. That's a fun budget to have. But it knocks the socks off my 12 million I was getting at Coritiba. So that's good. 153 million. Plenty of money. And if possible, the 3 at the back with the attacking mid and 2 up front. Okay, guys, I will leave the link to the tactic in a community post, which will go up tonight, and then I will leave it again tomorrow. So if you want to take part, all you have to do, go through the budget, and then save just before the first game of the season. And then send me the file through Google Drive. Just send me a link through Google Drive so I can download it and load it in. And then on Thursday, we'll have a look at what everybody's put together. And then we'll choose one that we're going to run with into the next season. Okie dokie. Thanks for coming, guys. And first time I've ever seen my beloved team lift a decent trophy. Couple of supporters here further in Silver Alley have enjoyed that final. Your plan is to send Isaac to the reserves. So, yeah, you'd need to play through the transfer window until it gets to the first game of the season. That's how we've traditionally done it. Gives you time to sign players and treat it really like you would a save of your own. What would you do? Who would you sell? Who would you buy? Could you possibly change the shape? You could change the style, but I think it would be hard to change the shape now. We'd have to buy wingers slowly. We'd have to sneak them into our team. So I'll leave that as a link. As soon as I get off here, I'll leave that as a link. You guys can go and have some fun with 153 million and more if you can make some sales. And thanks for coming, guys. We have won a trophy. I don't know how it... I really don't know how we've got those results. Manchester City, I expected to lose. The other games, we did well. 1-4, lost 1. And it's been a good end to the season. We've broken this 6 games, 2 defeats thing, which was popping up quite frequently there. We stopped it happening again at Tottenham. Okay, so thanks for coming, guys. Have fun with the budget. I'll be doing it as well. We'll have some fun with the budget. And then we'll see you on Thursday. I will upload a video for Tuesday, or do something different on Tuesday. Might even start the Ipswich save that I'm going to do on Tuesday. We shall see. I'll have something planned for Tuesday. Okay, guys, see you on Thursday. Have a good night and take care. See you soon. Winning the FA Cup. First season. Off to a good start.